We're going to take a slight departure from our usual content to discuss the election and some aspects of a democracy. One thing you may have noticed was among the many schisms that have developed politically in this country, one that might be a little less noticeable has to do with people's right to participate in the election through the markets. A lot of people had a very strong reaction to this right. They made claims about influencing the election and it was skewed, etc. And I think it's very important that we understand a few things before we even discuss any of those issues. Okay? Your political climate has always been influenced by money. Okay? And skewed by money and financial interests. Okay? First of all, lobbyists, their ability to influence, the ability of people with money to put money towards those ideas which benefit them, and all these politicians that never worked a day in their life, some of them, who are beholden to the interests which support them. Okay? I am not, and let's get this out of the way as well, I'm not endorsing any particular party or candidate. I'm just talking about general things that are very important that you as a citizen of this country in the United States should be aware of, okay? So this idea that giving people the opportunity to financially participate in the market skews the election is a red herring of the worst water. It's a bright red herring, if one could exist, okay? Politics involves political and financial interests underlying those political ambitions. It always has, okay? So, do you realize your vote seldom counts? Now, again, let's be clear about this, okay? I'm not endorsing the Electoral College or saying it's wrong. I'm simply stating that the way any election works, your vote, your ballot, means little, okay? What about the ability to make a vote count, to actually have it mean something, okay? Financial interest is a great incentive to get people involved and interested in the political nature, participation in a democracy. And it should be everybody's right, especially considering what really scares the special interests, okay? Which is if people did realize they could actually have some impetus by participating with their own income, that would really make it so that maybe for a change, politics could reflect the interests of people far and wide, and not simply special interests that can afford lobbyists, campaigning, and other such things. I want to talk about the power of consensus thinking, whether it be financial or otherwise. Now, your vote does not have any power. You live in a region which has already determined which candidate they desire, okay? I'm talking presidential here, okay? There might be more elections that do have value that way, but I should specify. Let's talk presidential, okay? However, when people as a group make a decision, it's a very interesting property that occurs. Democracy, in some sense, is the rule of the stupid, okay? It takes the common vote and puts it towards a tally. However, as individuals, people seldom have much knowledge or information. A strange thing happens when you have a group, however. Suddenly, there's power in those votes, okay? It turns out that statistically, in any given group, there will emerge some information that is valuable. And I think, if nothing else, you see that in the financial markets. You see an example of that. Okay? So let's talk about the nature of the markets. They work on the principle of the smart money, dumb money. In order to have a market, you need two parties, okay? The smart money usually sets the odds. So you have a situation where you basically can see what good information exists. And then you have the right to evaluate that information with your own financial interests. Okay? This has worked and worked for centuries. Okay? The first futures markets may have been in Japan to safeguard the rice crop. And again, a farmer could have a disastrous crop or a bumper crop, a bumper year, an incredible crop. However, in order to make something that was sort of edged out and normative, people could buy rice as a commodity, just like the futures market exists today. It enabled farmers not to be wiped out if they had a disastrous year, even at the expense of maybe having a bonanza, but accepting something a little bit less than financially, so that you can now safeguard your crop. And I think whether you're dealing with a service or a commodity, it's the same principle. When you take political influence, the more participation that you have, the more that you're using the strength of a democracy, okay? The markets show this. They are a demonstration of this because our financial self-interest is very strong. And we have seen these predictive markets do their thing. They are successful, okay? So when you get these people who want to take that right away, you should be very skeptical. And you should ask yourself why. All right? For all the reasons that I've just outlined. And you should ask yourself how much your participation and how you can participate to make the democratic ideals that underlay our republic a successful and a powerful epistemological tool rather than simply a bunch of BS, okay? And that's what financial self-interest can do for democracy. Anyway, I hope that this understanding will encourage people and really make them understand there is still a way your vote can count. Thank you.